Okay, today's video is going to be hopefully about your favorite subject, which is you. Yes, that's what I said, your favorite subject. And I think it's very important right now for us to understand and honor yourself, understand who you are, and also to honor and love yourself. So that's what my message is for today, and I think this is very important at this moment in time. I'll explain a little bit about what I mean when I say that, because sounds kind of dark a little bit, but it's not. It's actually a good thing. So I've been doing this work for a little while now, which is almost 20 years. And in the scheme of things, that's a little while. It's not very long. Been doing this work for a while. And so I think, as I've mentioned before, maybe I haven't, so I'm going to mention it now. I've dedicated my life to this work that I'm doing, which is to try to help people be the best that they can be. And the reason why, or one of the reasons why I think that's so important, is because if we are all good, then we're all good. Does that make sense? It's kind of funny, huh? If I never thought about it, but if it's all good, if you're all good, then we're all good, right? So, I mean, we live in this place together. So, I mean, wouldn't it matter to me for you to be good and happy and, living an abundant life and joy and bliss? That's what I want. I don't want, to live with somebody who's miserable and negative, and I don't want that. That does affect me. I mean, I've talked about this before. We are like antennas and receivers, transmitters and receivers. So I mean, like I've mentioned before, you go into a room and you've heard that term. You can cut the tension with a knife, and anyhow, I've talked about that before, but I don't need to go into all that. Basically, right now, I guess especially, it's important because there are things happening in the background, on our planet that you may or may not be aware of. If you're sensitive, then you'll know, you'll feel it, that, okay, yeah, there's something going on. And that could mean, a good thing or a bad thing, depending on where you are in your level of consciousness. So let me talk a little bit about terms. And this is another thing that came up today in my meditation, which is, terminology. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, as I've mentioned, I've been doing this for a little while now, almost 20 years. And one of the things that I've noticed is that, including myself, that sometimes you can get, I'll use the word distracted, or maybe led astray, or maybe turned off by, certain terminology that's being used out there, when I think that, we humans, we try to label things, or maybe we sometimes try to make things more complicated than they really are, and they don't need to be as complicated as maybe some, might say that they are. So I know that, if you're watching this channel, that you're probably, or maybe you're watching other channels, I don't know, but, there's a lot of spiritual people out there, and, they're talking about, a lot of different things. And I think that, one of the things that you'll hear a lot is the word ascension. And I've had a lot of people, ask me, well, what does that mean? I'm confused. What does that mean? And some people, they, for fear of, being judged or whatever, maybe they won't ask the question, because maybe, I think a lot of us are guilty of this, that you don't want to sound stupid. And, but, as, somebody mentioned to me today, and I agree with that, is that the only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. So I'm going to refer to ascension as change, because, technically that's all ascension is it's change. In simplified terms, it just means change. And, why is change such a big deal? Well, hold on a second, excuse me. Sorry, gotta drink water, keep my throat moisturized. Anyhow, change is important because that's how we're growing, that's how we're evolving. And honestly, it is all about change. I mean, everything goes back to change. Without change, I mean, I don't want to say that there would be no existence, but I mean, what would be the point? I mean, can you imagine just like having the same thing happen every day, every day, every day, not, expanding your knowledge in any way? Just, I mean, some people would say, and I've heard people say this, that, well, God, this was such a great day. I just wish I could have, every day could be like this. And it's like, well, it depends on what you mean by that, because that great day could turn into, somebody's living hell. I mean, literally. I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Groundhog Day, but, if you haven't, go watch it. It's a funny movie. It's a good movie, actually. But basically the movie's about, this guy that he gets stuck in a time loop where, he wakes up and every day is the same. And, it's kind of interesting. And at first he's, oh, this is cool. I can go and, do all these things and blah, 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 which he does. But then he eventually, he realizes that, he's in a living hell. Like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. And so that was like a long, explanation of change. We have to have change. Change is important. That's what it's all about. And so we're constantly learning. We're constantly becoming better. And by doing that, we're making everything better around us, including, our brothers and sisters. We're making better versions of them. And because, we hopefully learn off of each other and, whatever. But so, we're in some dark times right now. I'm not gonna lie. We're in some dark times, but we're also in some great times. I mean, mostly, at least for me, we are in some great times. And so I'm very excited about, what's happening right now. But to some, it may not be very exciting. And so that's what this video is for. And I entitled the video, "It's All About You." And so this video is to help you hopefully get through these times, which we're going through right now. And okay, so I guess first and foremost, which I've talked about in the past, is you really, really are not doing yourself a service by looking outside of yourself for, the solutions to your problems or the answers to your questions. You're not doing yourself a service. And when I say that, I don't mean that, don't go out and look for knowledge. Yes, do that, please. As a matter of fact, like I mentioned at the beginning, that I've dedicated my life to this. So, hopefully you can use my time that I spend doing this, full time, to your advantage. That will maybe, give you a shortcut to going out and, doing your own research. So it's important for you to do your own research. But you have to understand that you don't need anybody to tell you how great and powerful and wonderful you are, because you are, whether you know it or not. And you have the choice. This is another thing. You can choose, how you want your reality to be. Does that make any sense? Hopefully. So everything is a choice. However you're feeling right now, it's a choice. You made a choice to watch this video. You made a choice to get out of bed. You make a choice to feel like the world is crashing down around you, or you have the choice to feel like, okay, what can I do to make my life better? Which leads me into the next subject. I thought, honestly, that, we had more time than we do to kind of go into the phase of, evolution that we're going into right now. But apparently, I don't think we do. I think it's, things are happening quicker than I thought they were going to happen. And I've been watching this stuff for a while, but, and I've seen things come and go, but I really do. I mean, I look at the signs around me, not just here in America, but all over the globe. And there's definitely some stuff happening, whether you want to believe it or not. But remember that in the grand scheme of things, that it doesn't, it's nothing to be afraid of, because as I've mentioned before, you guys are, whether you know it or not, or believe it or not, you are eternal beings. There's nothing that can kill your energy. Your energy will always be here. Yes, this 3D, physical being that we're living in, yes, it can be killed, of course, or I shouldn't say killed, but, well, it can be killed. But, excuse me one second. But in the grand scheme of things, I've used that word a lot today, it doesn't really mean that much. So you don't, if you can get rid of that fear, I guess, and know that whatever's happening in this, physical world isn't that important in the overall scheme of things. So that, I believe, will give you the freedom to be more courageous, to maybe step outside of your box a little bit and maybe do things that you wouldn't normally do. And the main thing to remember is you are more important and special than you know that you are. That nobody or no being has the right, to judge you in any way. When I say that, I don't mean that it's okay for you to go out and do bad things. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that don't feel like that, you're not, worthy, or, why do these other people have this knowledge and I don't? Don't go down that path, because the knowledge is there for you. You just have to find it. So how do you do that? Well, I've said it a million times, and I'm going to say it a million more times probably. That's through meditation. And that's where you're going to find your answers. That's where you're going to find your truths, whether you know it or not. It's all there. That's the thing that, you don't understand, or maybe you do, is that we are, every single one of us, we are these all-knowing beings. We have all the answers that we want, but you just have to, find it, which is inside of you. Don't let somebody else tell you what your reality is. You find your own reality, and you do that, through meditation. So you have to ask for it. So next subject, which is, manifestation. Right now, and I can't go into the details, I can, but I'm not going to. Just, you can go do your own research on this, but trust me, we are at a stage in evolution to where our manifestational abilities, our ability to create our reality, whatever you want to call it, it's at a very high level at this moment in time. So this is a great opportunity for you to create the reality that you want, whatever that is. So, what is it, that brings you joy? What is it that brings you happiness? Find out what that is, and then create that in your mind's eye. So, you can do that through meditation or whatever, prayer, whatever you want to call it. This is the time to do that. And I think that what's going to be happening is these, energies that are coming in, I think they're going to, they're going to grow, and they're going to grow, and they're going to grow. They're going to get more intense. And, okay, I forgot to bring up something, and I'll bring that up right now. And then hopefully I'll end this. I'm not sure how long this recording is, but probably a little longer than I wanted. Also, because of all the stuff that's happening on the planet, that there's a lot of, maybe you're experiencing, a lot of discomfort in a lot of different ways, and that could be manifesting in, different ways in your physical body, as in, you're having symptoms of whatever, or you're, feeling very overwhelmed, or just confused, or scared, or whatever. There's a reason why those feelings are coming up right now. They're coming up because you need to deal with that. You need to process that, and you need to let it go. You need to learn from it, take that knowledge, turn that into something good inside of yourself, and then move forward, go forward. Because this place that we're going to, or the planet's going to, and it's a good thing, I promise you, it's a great thing, that, certain energies are not going to do so well there. So it's important for you, each individual person, to bring those energies, your own personal energies, up as high as possible. And by doing that, you'll do great. And not only that, but you'll make everybody's reality around you better also, if that makes sense. So I know I've gone over a lot of stuff today, and I hopefully have given you enough information to know that this is all about you. And it's, you don't need somebody to tell you, how to fix yourself, because yes, there's lots of knowledge and guidance out there. So I'm not saying ignore that, by all means do. But in the end, it's really about your own, personal evolution. That's what's more important. So whatever that is, you need to make that for yourself. Besides, I don't want to live in a world where we all have, somebody's telling me my reality because that's their reality. You need to have your own reality so that we can, share that, creativity together. And I'm going to go into another video later about that. As a matter of fact, as far as creativity, I think that has a lot to do with a lot of different things, and I think that's also very important. But anyhow, so meditate, people. Meditate, whenever you can. I know for some it's probably harder than for others, and I don't mean just the actual, act of doing it, but I'm talking about the act of, finding the time to do it. I know you don't all have the time to do it, but I promise you that it's crucial. I don't normally say, something is crucial, but I think right now it is crucial for you to do it. So if you have any questions or comments, not plugging my website, but I do have a website. It's, www.energyforce, that's INNERGYFORCE.com. You can contact me through that, or if you want to leave a comment, but if you have a personal question, please feel free to, visit my website. And I do have a services page there for people that are, maybe needing something outside of, this knowledge that I give you. And I generally or normally do create a blog that goes along with the video. I may or may not do this with this particular video. I have other projects that I'm working on, and I think those projects, are going to take precedence over my blog at the moment. Hopefully, I'm going to be getting some help. I think I need it because there's, so much going on right now, and I've got so much that I want to get out. But what I can tell you is that it's going to be great. I'm very excited, so be happy, keep that, good energy flowing inside of you, and, take care of your body, and, be careful what you put into it, and do things that bring you joy, whether that be, eating good food, or, listening to good music, or whatever that may be, going surfing, or whatever it is that brings you joy. Do what you can. I know we got this whole COVID thing going on, but, you can still, have joy in your life, and, whatever that may be. Maybe you've forgotten what joy is, and so maybe you just need to be reminded. Go back as far as you need to go, because I promise you that every single one of you, that there was a time in your life when, you had joyful things going on, and, maybe not all of you. Hopefully, you didn't have a, really, really bad life your whole life, but I know there's people that's happened to. But anyhow, so find your joy, be happy, love yourself, above all, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video.